I'm going to 100% Cuphead the delicious last course. This includes attaining every achievement and defeating every DLC boss on expert difficulty. Miss Chalice joins the boys on the title screen along with the catchy new theme song.
It's a delicious last course. Oh, the delicious last course.
But she's already kind of creeping me out rolling her eyes like that. Cuphead and Mugman run into the Time Wizard from Yu-Gi-Oh! Who's all grown up now. Even though he's a stranger to them, they happily accept his offer and depart in his boat. They are then greeted by Miss Chalice, who claims to have a scrumptious cookie just for them. Mugman, having learned nothing from his last adventure, chomps right into it and becomes a ghost. Miss Chalice rejoices as she is now alive again. She explains that she's been trying to escape the astral plane. Wait a minute, astral plane? Is this in the Doctor Strange universe? However, the creator of the cookie, Chef Saltbaker, states that the effects are only brief.
I really should put the warnings before the spell.
Lucky for her though, Saltbaker has come up with a new recipe for the Wonder Tart which could bring Chalice back to life for good. We just need to gather the ingredients. Hey kid, you got anything for a Wonder Tart?
Shut up and take my money.
Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna say no to gold coins. So I'm gonna check out if Pork Rind is selling any new weapons.
Okay, maybe, no, I just,
too many items and I only have 3 coins. I'll just come back later. Anyways, I proceed to the Chalice tutorial where I learned she parries with her dash rather than her jumps, has a dodge roll with a pinch of invincibility, can double jump, and starts with 4 HP. She may sound overpowered at first, but in order to use her, you have to equip her as a charm, which means no smoke dash for me, which is my usual go-to. Not being able to parry with jumps sounded like a nightmare to get used to, but I was determined to play as her. First boss to face, Glumstone the Giant. First phase of the boss wasn't too bad. And hey, I did the thing. It was these 2 puppets and their annoying bouncy ball that caused my first death. In fact, I'm very embarrassed to admit how much I lost to this guy. I know I'm out of practice with this game, but still, some of the ways I died were just embarrassing. And those gnomes could be really sneaky.
Surprise, mother...
And I had no idea Chalice's Super Blast went vertical instead of horizontal like it does for Cuphead. Once I irritated the giant enough to tear off his beard, I'd crash his puppet show, which for some reason prompted him to eat me. While in his stomach, I would parry the skull's pink tongues to reset the platforms, and was able to land my first knockout of the DLC. I got the gnome berries and my first achievement for beating a boss with Chalice. As I headed over to challenge another, a ladder dropped from the sky. I climbed up it to find the King of Games. Who does this guy think he is? Yu-Gi-Oh? He grants us a place in his royal tournament to face his champions. First up are these pawns? Oh yeah, and you can't use weapons here. Only parries will bring you victory. So yeah, these guys are pretty easy.
You dispatched the champion in so few rounds, brave Cups. Thy reward, wealth untold.
What? I get money for doing these? Well, don't just sit there, Mr. King of Games. Bring on the next champion. I can already tell this guy won't take long. All right, I already hate this horse. And I haven't even made it halfway. I actually think he's just a boring boss because you can't hurt him until he attacks first. And if you just stand too far from him, he taunts you for camping. The next couple rounds, I could tell I was just not being patient enough. I just want to get in there and fight. But fine, if he wants to be like that, so be it.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
When the Great Helm would cover his eyes, you could attack right away or jump on over. And when you do see the eyes, you back off for a second, then take your place as the victor. I got some more money, and that's all the king had for now. I was ready for a new kind of shot. So I bought the Crack Shot and Converge from Pork Rind, and gave them a go against the Moonshine Mob. I tried the Converge at first, which shot in 3 consistent directions, and it had a cool laser special. Little did I know that I had purchased what I now think to be the best finger gun, the Crack Shot. It starts off with a straight shot with good damage, but if it doesn't hit anything, it breaks into a weaker projectile that homes in onto an enemy. This is especially useful for this kind of stage, since there's so much going on and each of the fly minions go poof with just 1 hit. So you can just focus on yourself and dodge while the Crack Shot does the rest. Then this lady fly joins the fray, dancing alongside her record player. I just gotta do some invincibility rolls here, show off a different super art that Chalice has, and before you know it, she's beaten.
You broke my heart.
The last phase is the Anteater, who likes to get gross with their tongue. A few crack shots later, and... Yo, that snail straight up tricked me with the knockout, but I still won. Much easier boss than the first one. It only took a few tries. Also got the distillery dough and an achievement for defeating a boss with a new weapon. I continue my trek southward and talk to this cactus girl who literally does nothing for us. Then I found another one of those ladders. Looks like the king has more champions for me to own, and they're both quite easy, especially the head spinning bishop. All you gotta do is blow out the candles, then boom, smack them with a parry. Beat it on my first try. Then there was the axe sharpening guy. Wait. Oh, they're all supposed to be chess pieces. That's a cool reference. Anyways, as I was saying, you parry these pink heads back at the rook while they lob sparks and skulls at you. Took me 3 tries to win. I take the king's money, then skedaddle back to the shop to buy the broken relic and heart ring. And when you look at that, another ladder, which has the queen doing taxes? Oh, never mind. She's pissed. I don't know what's going on here. The mice have betrayed the queen and they're getting cannons ready to blast her.
I started blasting. Bang! Bang!
There's probably a better way to aim these things, but hey, look how far I got while being a maniac on my first try. On future attempts, I actually tried to target her by waiting for the right moments to fire and won on my 3rd try.
First of all, congratulations, Cuphead.
Hello, I like money.
What inspired you to defeat all of my champions?
Money!
And I got an achievement for it too. Yeehaw! This is the only shoot 'em up level in the DLC, and by golly, it is overwhelming. She shoots snake oil at you, which then becomes flying oil snakes. She lassos in a freaking cactus that takes up half the screen. An eagle flies on by casually just to drop a bundle of dynamite that rockets off more dynamite sticks. And then some little chubby horse likes to spit. Yeah, it's a lot. I'd actually say this part is harder than the rest of the level later on. Esther, the cow's name by the way, then proceeds to vacuum up valuables that you have to avoid, then spits them back out in the form of metal safes. And you all know me, I just can't resist that money. Unfortunately, Esther sucks herself into the Acme cooker, being processed into sausage links. I think this is the easiest of the phases, but I still lost my first time when getting to this point. The last part is pretty tricky since it incentivizes you to be in the middle of the screen to target the container, all while the sausage links force you to move in and out. Like I said earlier, it's the first part that gave me the most trouble. I often would reset with rage. It took over 25 minutes to get that attempt that I would assuredly win, and I even got a solid A in the end. I took my desert limes and thanked the stars I wouldn't have to see Esther for a long while. I hadn't really explored the island yet, so I took a breather and found this sneaky coin at the end of this hidden trail. I bought the last item, then this old ghost tells me that there's a mystery regarding these tombstones, and I cannot figure it out for the life of me. I even looked it up, and a YouTube video I looked up said that when you talk to the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd placers up on the hill, that this is the order in which you're supposed to tap the gravestones. This didn't work for me, and I couldn't figure out why. I even had the broken relic equipped, and it did not work. Whatever, I'll just finish the story for now and come back to it later. The Howling Aces is probably one of my new favorites when it comes to the game design. You're on an airplane that leans left or right depending on the side you stand on. You get to use Chalice's double jump in an effective manner, and overall, it's not too hard of a boss, but it's really fun to play. The segment where the puppies fly around in circles is likely the easiest phase of the entire DLC. They pretty much just give you free parries. Then the stage turns the heat up with multiple lasers, but the part that caught me off guard the most was when the lady dog literally turns the screen sideways, causing me to instantly die. I literally had to physically turn with the screen, and it really made the whole thing more bearable. Not to mention, Chalice's last super art has been coming in handy, essentially giving you another heart. With both of these adjustments, I took down the Howling Aces, and with that, got the Pineapple Mint and an appointment with the chiropractor for my neck pain. That leaves us with just only one more boss to steal an ingredient from, and I was actually owning this guy on my first try. His whales and icicles had nothing on me. Then he turns into a snow monster, which then transformed into a refrigerator. So of course, I got to the final part on my first try, and then I lost. And then I got worse, and then I got good again. Don't worry, we'll be talking about this guy later when the time comes. I snagged the icy sugar cubes along with an achievement for defeating every boss and head back to the bakery. Hey, where's the chef? Okay, this is a little creepy, but I'm sure he's just chilling. Aw, crap, he's evil.
Welcome back, you meddlesome brats. I didn't think you'd be back so soon. It's too late to stop me now. The Wonder Tart will be my finest work yet. I never told you about the most important secret ingredient, a living soul.
When did he nab Cuphead? We literally walked into the bakery with him. There's no time to find out. We're already in the midst of battle, and he's using all the ingredients we gathered as weapons. I totally nailed the first phase. Then Chef Saltbaker scoops us up with his hands where we meet his friends, the Pepper Shakers. Bless you. Okay, shut up now. I said shut up! How do I have 2 heart shields? Must be a bug since it didn't save me. And what was that white bar? Let's try this again. Again, what is with this white bar? All right, I made it past that part. What now? Dancing salt? Just when I thought I had seen it all. I easily make it past them, and now I'm pretty convinced that the final boss is bugged in my game, since in reality, I face a white glitchy square while on the losing screen I see a heart. Anyways, I make it back to that point, defeat the white square, I mean Chef Saltbaker, I guess, which actually completes the story quest of the DLC. I'm awarded yet another achievement.
Thank goodness you're okay.
Okay, I'm done voice acting. Oh wait, maybe not, because Chalice just mentioned Hoodwinked. I love that movie.
And Keith, darn it, change your name, please. That's not scary, and I'm embarrassed to say it, you know? Oh, watch out for Keith.
Anyways, the building begins to collapse, and we all get out of there just in the nick of time, including the chef. Cuphead points out the bakery is gone and that the chef deserved to lose it. However, they can't save Chalice without it. She assures them it's alright because it's not worth sacrificing a soul to bring her back to life, and she won't stop searching for another way. With a smile, she says she is just a cookie bite away, and states she now has 2 new best pals. And wink. Cutscene! We're then presented an epilogue that shows Chef Saltbaker being taken away by the police and a judge sentencing him to community service. Like a lot of community service. And then he makes everyone treats. How do we know we can trust him? Who cares? Let's get back to 100%ing this game. As I look through the list of achievements, I noticed I could knock out a few of them really fast. So I went back to the Moonshine Mob to get an S rank on what I perceive to be the easiest level to do so. Yeah, I was there for an hour and a half. Not only did I have to beat it on expert difficulty, I had to get a perfect score in every category in order to get the S rank. By the way, that A- did complete the obtain at least an A- for every boss achievement. Still needed the S rank though. The first issue I realized I had was the crack shot weapon. You may be thinking, Andrew, I thought you said it was the best. That's the problem. It's too good. Without even realizing it, I was killing these blue coats too fast. You see, I need them alive to blow these pink smoke rings, because I need to parry 3 times before beating this boss in order to get the S rank. I changed to a short distance weapon, which resulted in a room flooded with bombs, and it just get worse when the spider made a phone call. Just look at how flooded this room gets. Thankfully, the ladyfly wasn't bad at all. I would just roll on the side of the screen, which reminded me of doing this for some reason. But by far, the worst was the anteater. Holy crap. There would often be at least 2, sometimes 3 fly dust balls swarming the place while the tongue attacked us. And I even somehow forgot about the fake knockout trick, which resulted in me losing. And even when I did win, I was too slow because my alternate weapon wasn't fast enough. In the end, I was able to outsmart the mob, get that sweet S rank, and attain that blasted achievement. The next few actually did go a lot faster. One of them was to defeat a boss with one of Miss Chalice's super arts. It was a little tricky because there's no HP bar for the boss, but I got the timing right when facing Goopy Legrand. Next up was beating a total of 10 bosses playing as Chalice, and I only needed 4 more, so I defeated some of the easier ones from the main game. Now the next one I wanted to do was to have 9 HP at one time. Now I gotta be honest, I was spoiled on how easily to do this where you spin around a couple times, which is how you free the Game Jimmy, who grants you 3 additional hearts on simple and regular modes. Then you attach the twin heart charm, and bada bing bada boom, you got 9 hearts. However, I'm glad I found out about this, because if you didn't notice, I didn't get any acknowledgement that I had received the achievement. That's because once again, the game is bugged. You have to challenge King Dice to get another heart at the beginning, beat whatever mini boss he throws at you, then get another heart from King Dice, which finally awards us with the achievement as seen below. Even though we have 7 hearts now. Yeah, I would have never have figured that out. Anyways, back to the DLC where I need to defeat a boss without killing any of its minions. The plan?
Wait, can you go back? Michael always says K-I-S-S. Keep it simple, stupid. Great advice. Hurts my feelings every time.
Yep, we're going with the simple difficulty, because why make it harder than you have to? With the spread shot, it's very easy to avoid hitting the wizard's minions. That doesn't stop their master, though. As for the popsicles, those frozen treats just keep getting in the way. Like, I wouldn't even be aiming at them, but they'd still swoop right in front of me somehow. It took longer than I'd like to admit, but eventually I did it, and yeah, the fight ended here because of simple mode. Thinking of what to accomplish next, I spotted the ladder and spoke with my good friend, the King of Games. I told him I was ready for the gauntlet. Sounds scarier than it actually is. You just need to face off against all the champions again, except this time beat them all back to back without ever losing. Everything I said earlier still applies here. However, it did take me almost an hour this time. Nevertheless, achievement attained. Only 2 remained, which were both mysteries. And I know one of them is this darn graveyard puzzle. I pulled up a different video this time and noticed that the order in which he touched them was different than the first guy I watched. Could it be that they're randomly generated? I went back up to speak with those bozos from the nameless contest, and finally, it clicked. The first place guy mentioned the word down. Second place has the word left in their dialogue. And third place weirdly uses the word down and left together. I gave it a go. It worked. It actually worked. I'm actually kind of proud of myself for somewhat figuring that out on my own. Now, what does this thing do? Ah, a secret boss fight. But dang, I am getting owned here. It took a couple games to realize what was going on. So look closely as I explain it. Whatever direction I face, be it left or right, turns the angel into a devil, which also makes their fireballs harmful, including the fiery pillar. And the opposite happens to the other side that your back is facing. They turn into an angel, which also makes their spells harmless. In my opinion, I love the level design here. It is difficult, but I was able to manage by camping in the middle and switching sides whenever I needed to. I'm lucky there wasn't an expert mode for it because I never was parrying or worried about my HP. The broken relic is now called the cursed relic. It jinxes you into having only 1 HP and randomly changes your shot and charm every time you press the shoot or dash button. So once I find my preferred weapon, I keep my thumb on that shooting button like my life depends on it, and don't dash unless absolutely necessary. At the time of writing this, I thought you had to defeat every DLC boss on at least regular difficulty with the relic equipped in order to get that last achievement. Now, I'm a sweet guy, but I'm also a psycho, going against the final boss first. I just want to get it done. I did learn a lot from redoing this match over and over again. You need to make it a priority to parry whenever you can. Most of the time, it will do nothing for you, but there is this charm called the heart ring, which restores 1 HP after your first, third, and sixth parries. Sometimes it will be the randomly equipped charm. Just like on screen now, I gained a heart. I did lose that extra life during the pepper shaker scrimmage, but got another one along the way, then landed right on the saw when dropping into the next phase. I was determined to win this after 45 minutes of redoing this boss fight, and once I saw the non-glitch salt shaker heart, I knew I had this in the bag. Now, it turns out after writing this script, I found out that the bosses you need to defeat don't need to be the DLC ones. So I guess I wore out my fingers for nothing just to take on the chef. Not to mention the ice wizard and his popsicle mischief all over again. Seriously, the ice guy was actually the hardest boss to beat with the relic. It took me an hour and 35 minutes. That's over twice the length it took me to defeat the chef. I had beaten all the DLC bosses with the cursed relic, save for Esther the cow. Yet they still gave me the final paladin achievement. And thank goodness, cause she's probably my least favorite to play against. All that's left to do is to defeat them all again, this time on expert. So back to the ice wizard, and I slaughtered him in less than 5 minutes. Wow, that was much easier than the relic challenge. Turns out when you're able to choose your weapon and start with 4 health, things aren't so hard. Only 2 left to go. And this time, I'm not trying to flex by not saving the chef for last. I really think 1 is more difficult than this guy. I don't take him as fast as I did with the previous 3, but this is still such a breeze compared to when facing him with the relic. It feels like I'm dreaming when using the crack shot along with gaining a heart shield. The most notable bump in expert difficulty for this level, for me, was that they added another fire guy. See them jumping right after each other? And it really gets obnoxious when in the palm area because everything already feels so crammed there. 21 minutes later, with only 1 HP, I confront the heart one last time and take my place as the victor. But there remained 1. I had been avoiding her ever since our first encounter. I knew she was waiting for me, waiting for another opportunity to kick my trash. To me, Esther on expert difficulty was the real final boss. She instantly doubled down with the snake oil pistols, firing them twice now rather than once. Her minions would spawn more often than usual. I didn't know it was possible to clog the screen more than she had before, and I couldn't put my finger on it, but for some reason, I was having a really hard time when she transformed into the sausage. And the ending, oh, the ending. The sausage links seemed to have doubled their speed when crossing each other. Defeat after defeat. There seemed to be no hope. Maybe I couldn't 100% this game. I kept persevering and even made it past the first phase without taking damage. I was so close to being hit by multiple objects, and frankly, some did touch me but did not register as a hit. I got a little flustered. Is there a way to win this? I believe there was a higher power with me this round, because I swear it was a little easier since the openings and the sausage links were often met together from both sides. I capitalized on it and destroyed Esther Winchester once and for all.
Am I better than everyone?
I do owe an apology to the Cactus Girl. After using Chalice to defeat all the main story bosses as well, she awarded me with a unique filter that can only be used with Chalice. Man, that was a good time, and the DLC was well worth the wait. Give the video a like to support the video, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. Let me know in the comments. You all have a good one. Thanks.